Welcome to Let's Fucking Chat. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Alex. Let's talk about some stuff. Hello. Welcome.
And welcome
to this episode of Let's Effing Chat. All right.
Yeah. Episode 10.
Yeah, so we have a hype episode this week because kind of not like I guess we could say unexpectedly we we watched the fight. We watched the Logan Paul the Jake Paul fight. And I don't think that we were thinking about it last week because I'm pretty sure.
No.
Yeah.
It was under my radar. I didn't know about it until like 2 days before when I was like on like Friday. Yeah, when I was laying in bed with my husband in the morning, he's like, "Oh, you ready for like the Jake Paul fight?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, I'm like an internet sleuth. And I was like, what? I love you so much. But what? Yeah, I didn't even know about it until like 2 days ago. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or a day ago.
But before we get into that, let's talk about weeks really quick. How was your week?
Okay. Let's sum up our weeks in 5 words. Does that sound good?
Sure.
My week was 1, uneventful. 2, stressful. 3, great. 4, relieving. 5, relaxing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. 1, my week was, it was actually very hype.
Okay.
I'll also add the word Dogecoin.
Yes, that's a big
also
thing
why I was
too
hype.
that happened.
Let's just say that I was up a lot of money.
Okay.
I'm still up a lot of money.
Nice.
Okay, last thing I want to say about that is just I have single-handedly in like one day because of Dogecoin like doubled all profits that I've ever made in investing. Anyway,
I'm happy for you.
It was kind of boring. I was being very lazy this week. And last, just happy. I was just, although it was very uneventful and I was being very lazy, I was also very happy. So, yeah. Good.
So we ended our weeks with happy and relaxed. So I think those are 2 really good ways to like literally just end your week or sum up your week. Happy for your Dogecoin. I know that thing was like literally popping off this week. What?
Yep, I knew about it. I'm pretty sure I told you to invest in it. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to make my friends money. It's probably in an episode, but doesn't your husband have some Doge?
He literally put in like I think 11 cents in like 2011 out of a joke. So his profit was like nothing.
Well, actually, he might still have a lot of. Actually, that might be a couple bucks. So that might be like a couple.
I think he told me like. What? I think he's told me like $2 or like $3. Like nothing.
Really?
He didn't make he didn't make like some people where they put in like 200 and now it's worth like 500. Like it didn't double or anything. And I was like,
I was up like 3,000%. I was like, yes.
Jesus.
Yes. And I ended up putting in a lot of money. So
just like, okay, sum this up for me really quickly. Why did this all of a sudden just get so like big this week? I don't understand like how that happens if it's like not a currency that like we can use in our like real lives supposedly,
So something important to note really quick is just that you can use it in real life. People, especially now that it's getting more and more popular, more and more retailers and businesses are actually using it and are accepting it. Of course, Bitcoin, the businesses that accept it are a lot larger. That's the amount of businesses that accept it. But Dogecoin, there's a lot of actual businesses that are now accepting Dogecoin. And a lot of people are talking about putting it more on, the market and stuff like that. But the reason why it kind of popped off, there's a lot of different ideas of why. But it seems like the main 2 that I heard was one, Coinbase was going public. And so since Coinbase was going public, which Coinbase is a cryptocurrency wallet app, basically. You can buy cryptocurrency on it. Since it was going live to public,
people can invest in it.
Yeah, all coins
publicly.
in general just started getting more popular. And then also I heard that it was a pump and dump, even though I don't think that can possibly happen when it comes to like, because the value of the coin is basically the value of it socially. So it's kind of hard to pump the social value and then have it fall. Yeah. And then like have it drop like right back to the amount. So
interesting.
Just more people are getting their eyes on Dogecoin. And like I said previously, it's a funny coin. Why don't people like, of course people are going to start buying into it, because that's what the entire internet is just jokes. It's jokes. It's memes exactly.
On memes.
So of course everyone's going to want to get in on this and say, hey, I'll buy some Dogecoin.
That is true though. Like people forget the power of like the internet. We're connected to people literally all over the world.
All I'm saying, and this is what I've been telling my friends, is that if Dogecoin gets to even a single percent of Bitcoin, of the amount that Bitcoin has, the amount that Bitcoin is right now, I would never have to work again in my entire life. Are
you serious? How do you even invest in this stuff?
You can do things like Binance.us or Kraken.com. These websites allow you to sign up, prove your identity, and you're able to buy cryptocurrencies on these sites, and they will give you wallets, these online virtual wallets that you can keep your money inside of it. And then you can also buy wallets, like actual physical wallets, elsewhere. So I have this thing called a ledger. It looks like a mini flash drive, and it has its own like ID for the wallet. Yeah, so like exactly. So all my money is on that thing. Yeah.
Can I just tell you something really quickly?
What's up?
So for my current job, I actually, hopefully this isn't breaking HIPAA, I feel like it's not, but like basically I just looked at somebody's like their Bitcoin like from the month of, let's say like
just don't name them or anything like that.
Yeah, just like they're basically their ledgers, essentially their journal entries for Bitcoin, and I was just like reading it and looking at it, and at first I was like what am I looking at, because it was super weird, but like when I like actually like was cranking the numbers, I was like, whoa, this is like really fucking crazy. Like the conversion from like what Bitcoin's worth to like US dollars and stuff, I was just like, whoa, this is wild.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to get in.
Yeah. And I'm the person who doesn't really care much for it blowing up, really. I just want Dogecoin to be used. I think it'd be really awesome to
I think so too. It'd be fun to see something like a new currency that's like actually usable within like not just big realtors or like businesses, but like smaller businesses, and really hopefully like as we go towards like the future of technology, like we can actually see like this come to fruition, and like one day you'll be like, hey son, I just gave you like, I don't know, 1 Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Spend at your leisure. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be really dope. That's what I want in the future. But anyway, that sums up our weeks, and now we get to the main event.
For real though.
So for those who don't get it by now, the topic that we chose last week is actually going to be scratched and maybe even postponed to next week, or maybe the week after next, since technically I think it's your week to choose next week's topic. So it is a new topic, and it is the Jake Paul and Ben Askren fight. Which are the problem child, literally.
Yes, and yellow.
So let's talk about the entire event first, right? So like, before we talk about the fight,
let me just ask you the important question: did you buy this fight?
Yes, I did.
You psycho! I did not buy this fight.
Did your husband not buy it either?
No, we streamed it.
Wow. Yes. I see. Personally, I told myself a long time ago, because I lived in a very and we'll get into this when we talk about the movie, but I used to be very, very poor, so I'd always like rip shit off and like get shit for free. So when I was younger, I always told myself that if I ever had the money for it, I would always pay for it.
Yeah, you'd buy
so it. I do that now. Like I don't even like rip like things that are just like, why don't you just fucking rip that shit?
Yeah, I respect it, but my husband, I think it was the Conor McGregor fight, and where he got knocked out, like the recent one, and I think we paid like $100 for it, or $150. And the whole day he was giving me so much shit, saying like, Kelsey, you're gonna fall asleep. You're just gonna fall asleep early. And this motherfucker, we buy the fight, and right before the like fight starts, he literally just fell asleep and was passed out. I was so pissed off. I went on like to our account and was like, no, cancel this right now. I'm going to bed. Fuck this. So yeah, even though it was $50, I was like, I'm not paying for this because one, I don't want you to fall asleep, and two, it's between Jake Paul and Ben. What was the last name?
Ben Askren.
Yeah, Askren, a retired
MMA fighter.
So it's through like Triller, so I was like, no. But okay, I'm glad we covered that question. You paid for it. I did not pay for
absolutely.
it. What was your question after that?
It was just, so let's talk about what we thought of the event, right? So
okay,
it started off with the very first fight, which was it was an interesting fight, I guess. I don't actually
billionaire versus reggae musician.
Was that it? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't really remember that fight at all.
Yeah, it was kind of lackluster.
Was that the one with the guy where the guy was in pink?
Yes, that was the first one. He was in the pink shorts. He was I think the billionaire, and then the guy that lost was the reggae musician. So.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, look it up.
Okay.
Someone was a billionaire, so.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so first fight was interesting. I enjoyed watching people box. I actually like watching people box, strangely enough. I remember when I was a kid and my father would be into boxing, and I'd look at it and I'm like, why are you into this? But now I'm like, oh shit, I like watching two dudes punch each other in the face. That's actually kind of interesting. Yeah. But yeah, the first one, but it wasn't like very notable. Like, I didn't know, there wasn't much that happened at the very beginning.
No, it wasn't.
And then after that, it decided to take like a 30-minute break to just start doing long. Music.
It was 9 people that like played. 9 people. 9 acts.
It was so weird. It was just kind of like, all right, so where's the fight?
It was long. Yeah, that's what we thought too. It was a little too much. Like, I got it, but I didn't at the same time. What were your thoughts on like the performances? Did you watch them?
Yes, I watched all of them. I watched the entirety of the streams. Because me and my friends were watching it. I was drinking and I was high as well, so it was interesting. Nice. And it was interesting. It wasn't it wasn't boring. We could always find something humorous at least in the things.
Oh my god, yes. Same.
I forgot who it was. I think it was the
Doja Cat, Sweetie.
I think it was E40. Sweetie? It was when E40 was on. And that chick that he was rapping with, like, oh my god, the one dancer, she was like just shaking bad. Her ass and her boobs. She was bad, dude.
It was awkward.
She was so bad, dude. Like, I was like, Jesus. Like, I think I accidentally fell in love really quick. I was like, oh my gosh.
Was your dick hard for her when she just came out?
No, that's weird. But it was just like, oh, this person is very, very attractive. Me and my friends were all like, yeah.
Were you taken aback?
I was. Mainly because I was like really high and really drunk, so you're a little bit more like
a little wheezy, queasy.
Yeah, something like that. But no, I she was very pretty, and I was like, oh crap. So that was what was interesting about that part.
Yeah,
and then
that was. I mean, she was really hot, but it was like. Okay, where's like the other dancer to balance like the performance out? It's literally just her. I was like to my husband, like, would you wear this outfit and like do the same dance that she's doing? And he was like, yeah, for $100, I would do it. And I was like, oh god.
Yeah, true that, dude. Yeah, you gotta work with what you have, bro.
That is true. I just thought it was interesting because usually you perform either by yourself or you at least have 2 to balance it. But she's just over here, fuck it, man. She doesn't need anyone else, just her. Music.
It probably has something to do with the song. I don't really remember the song, and I didn't really think about it that much. Me and my friends were just talking about, 1, how pretty she was, and 2, just like being able to like dance on your knees like that. Like, I was like, my kneecaps was saying. Would be cracking.
I was like, same. I was like to my husband, I was like, babe, her leg strength, her core. Yeah. I can barely do like a like 10 squats with like a 5-pound weight, and she's over here twerking in like 5-inch heels for like at least a minute. Like, how is she doing that? Those knees though.
Yeah,
like,
she's got knees on her, dude.
She's got knees on knees on knees. So I'm glad you guys like that performance. Yeah, they were interesting, but towards the end, I was like, when are they going to get to something else? Anything?
See, I had a friend who was watching it with me, and like, I like there's a when you're watching something with somebody, the important part is to understand when like the joke is over. And so like, or like we're just done talking about it. So we were talking about like, you know, the performances and stuff like that, and it's just the idea, the kind of the joke is, you know, dude, this is taking forever, LOL. But he just kept complaining about it, and I'm like, bro, just go and
just like, accept it.
At one point, I just said, dude, just go to your room. We'll call you when the match is on.
Yeah, when it's
and he came back to fucking complain some more. I was so mad. I was so
those are the worst, because like everyone knows like it's going, and my husband and I did complain to each other, but I think we just like accepted the fact that like, no, I went on my phone. I was like, okay, these are how many people are performing. This is how many have performed so far. We got to Doja Cat, and I was like, I think this is the final performance. But then after, like, she ends, and I was like, that was a really good set. But then they go to this weird, like, slap fight thing, and I was like, okay.
That was actually, so Doja Cat came on crazy. She played, like... Doja Cat's so music. Good. Yeah, it was so good.
That guitar, Alex?
Bro, guitar man guy.
Dude,
it was just a guy.
I loved it.
Yeah, dude, I don't know who the fuck that motherfucker is. I just know that he's a dude. Yeah, he's some guy, and he just killed it. Like, that was just, he was just guitar man guy.
Her performance was fire.
he was a dude, and it was just, he was a dude with a guitar and played fucking ham.
It was
I don't know who he is. But yeah, he did well. Doja Cat did really well as well. I thought usually Doja Cat's music is very like raunchy and you know very, but what she played up there was like so good. It was really, really good. She played some really amazing songs there, and I actually like her raunchy stuff. But I was expecting to hear that, and I heard more not that.
More
I was like,
calm,
oh wow,
more like chill vibes.
Calm, chill,
she did
R&B.
really good.
She sung. I was like, wait, Doja Cat sings? What?
Oh yeah, I respected that, because like, okay, no hate on Sweetie, but it's like she definitely was lip singing, and her performance was very lackluster. But like Doja Cat's over here fucking killing it, actually singing, like live singing, changing outfits, like doing dance moves, like. Hello, the bar has been set. Like, I get we've been in lockdown for a whole year, but like you've had a whole year to like prepare your body, like your, I don't know, like your body, your performance, like how you do shit. So it's like, what the hell? But that's besides the fact. But yeah, she killed it. So let's talk about the slap.
Yeah, then the slap fight came. So I also want to talk about Pete Davidson, because like.
Oh my god.
He was funny, and honestly,
I liked him.
He probably carried a large percentage of it just because he just seemed like just some like he just did not know what the fuck was going on, and he was just as surprised about everything as we were. He
just
was with
us.
Yeah, he was with us.
Everyone watching this.
He's like, what the fuck is this? Like fucking, I don't know who that was. The guy who was obviously on cocaine, living his best life. The guy, the red guy, like, that right before the slap fight, when Pete Davidson was like talking, and then you have the white guy who was very, very red, walking up and just saying shit and officiating the slap fight or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and
that old man.
Yeah, and Pete reacted like anybody, like a real person, when it was just like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
But did you see him before when he was like, the beginning, he went into like Jake Paul's like a dressing room and just started ripping him an asshole with like his questions with his friend? Like, he did not care, which I like found really good and relieving. Yeah,
he did not get. He was drilling into him a lot, where at one point me and my friends, we audibly were like, Jesus Christ, like, he went a little too hard. I'm not a big fan of Jake, but I personally, and if I'll end it really soon because we're not talking about that part yet, but I personally grown a little bit more of a respect for Jake, but in a different way, in like a boxer way, right? Like when I look at an athlete and I'm like, oh, that athlete's pretty cool, I'm expecting that athlete to be a dick. So so like that's what Jake fulfills that. Like McGregor is a dick. And,
the typical like athlete persona.
Exactly. And so like I kind of see Jake in that similar way where it's like, all right, yeah, he's fucking rowdy and does stupid shit and he's dumb, but like that's kind of what's expected. Like he's not really expected to be smart because he's a fighter now, and I think he really fits the fighter persona really, really well. So yeah, I gained a new respect for him. I was like, okay, all right, he's not absolutely trash. But anyway, that's just to say, yeah, Pete went just too hard, a little bit too hard.
I think like, he gave him enough heat, honestly.
I think, especially with
he gave him enough.
Especially with what was going on in like the background, because his bodyguard had died like a few days prior. So like
what?
Yeah, his bodyguard died like just apparently out of nowhere, just like, and they were like really close for like several like months at least to years, and apparently they were super super close. So it was a surprise to him, and he was actually beaten up about it, and that's the reason why he ended up crying after winning, like super fucking hard. It seemed like it was just kind of like, oh, like. You could tell, like, he did a podcast with his brother talking about it, and you can tell that he was probably trying to hold in as much shit as possible because he's got a fight, in a couple days, and so like probably after that fight, it's like, all right, let this out. Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. His bodyguard had died. I didn't know that. Wow. You and my husband are so much more into the internet than I am, which is kind of weird, but...
It's just honestly. When you're ripping someone a new one, just make it so
the full backstory.
Make it so that if you're ripping somebody a new one, that it is okay no matter what's going on in that person's life. So like you should never go for the throat, I don't think, especially in situations where the kid's just stupid and dumb and annoying. Like that's the most that he
a middle school boy.
Yeah, exactly. He's really dumb. He's really annoying. He's really stupid, but. You can't condemn somebody for being dumb, stupid, and annoying. Honestly, it doesn't seem like he's It doesn't seem like he's an angry, like he's a bad.
He's
person,
just young,
really.
like still very young.
I don't want to specifically say young, and because he has a lot of allegations, and I don't give a fuck about. Like, I mean, I'm not like trying to talk towards those allegations or anything like that. Allegations are allegations, so they should be taken seriously. But so I'm not talking on that. But it just doesn't seem like he's like the type of person. He's like, oh yeah, fuck people. It actually seems like he actually believes everything that he says, and that he believes that he actually is like, he does some stupid shit, but whatever. He's dumb. He's just dumb and stupid, and that's kind of what's expected of him. But yeah, he's a good fighter, and I knew that, and that's why I bet on him. Anyway,
Okay.
Slapbot.
So slap fight was interesting. I thought it was a weird segue, but it's like after like 30 minutes of performances, like I at least wanted a fight, but it was interesting, pretty good. I like Pete Davidson's commentary. It was a nice like segue into the main fights. That's all I have to say about it, really. Good segue-ish.
I'm used to the Russian slap fights because that's how they got big.
I've seen those before.
Yeah. Those are way those slaps were so pussy. Like, yeah, it's way more intense there. Yeah, the white
guys, he barely slapped him.
Yeah, exactly. He just kind of
little taps.
And they just kept going back and forth with like these like soft ass slaps until that last one, where at first we thought he had palmed him, and then we were like, all right, that's illegal, because like we saw it like the first time, and it kind of looked like he hit him with the bottom of the palm, which is not allowed. So if he did that, that would have been illegal, and I don't think anybody around knew that. Like, so like I think most people would have said, hey, let's rewatch that really quick to make sure that he won. I think everybody was just like, oh, he slapped him and the guy fell. Oh.
Yeah, my husband said the same thing. Like it looked like he like palmed him too, like, in his face.
Exactly. And that would have been illegal. But then when they did the replay, it showed that there was the bottom of his palm was right below the chin.
Nothing?
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. It was right below the chin, like it should have been. he slapped this motherfucker the fuck
That's
out.
insane.
It was after figuring that out, we were just like, oh my god, he was out, bro.
From a slap.
From a slap. I mean, hey, don't knock a slap. These motherfuckers get like brain damage.
Oh god. That was a good little segue into whatever the fuck. Truthfully, I watched that slap fight and then I started to get tired. And I remember I watched the next fight, which was like the actual like two really big fighters. Wait, no. Yeah. Because it was like the guy with the really blue hair, because it looked like a blueberry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I kind of watched that, but I fell asleep, I think. And then, yeah. So what were your thoughts on that? I fell asleep.
Wait, you fell asleep with the blue-haired one?
Wait, yeah, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep with that. And then I know, was that the order? I think it was the slap. And then the blue, or was either the slap and then the two heavyweight older guys.
Wait, I was pretty sure there was I think there was like 4 fights. Was there 4 fights in total where one of them was the slap fight? And then the last one was the Jake Paul fight? Like it was the pink? Oh my gosh.
I need to look this up. I know it was definitely the guy with the pink shorts, right? And then they had like all the performances-ish, which was then the slap fight.
Oh, let me see. Trying to see.
Yeah, what the little sketch was.
Schedule. Maybe this will have it. Come on. Who is the head? Who are the people?
Okay, I found the people, but it was it was the pink shorts guy who was like someone was a billionaire, someone was like a reggaeton artist, and the slap fight, and then it was the guy with the blue hair, because they were like one of the main boxers that got paid the most, and then it was the two older guys that were more like heavyweight, and then I think it was Jake Paul, the main shebang.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the order because I fell asleep, so.
Okay, so yeah, it was so I think we were talking about the Steve Cunningham Frank Mir one. Yeah, because that's what the two old guys.
Yeah, they're like 40 and one was like kind of really big.
Yeah, because the one before Jake Paul was the Regis Prograis one. That was the one I think with the guy with the blue hair.
With the blue hair, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Ivan Redcatch.
Okay.
So you're saying that you didn't see that one?
I saw like literally the beginning. Okay, so yeah, so I saw the two like older heavyweights, and then the guy with the blue hair, I fell asleep, and I was just like, babe, wake me up when like Jake Paul, and then they actually fight, because I was like, I'm tired.
You missed some crazy shit. Okay.
Did I really?
Yeah. So the Regis Prograis fight and versus Ivan Redcatch was so crazy, because
really?
Towards the end of it, so Ivan just got his shit pushed in, and I think they were going 10 rounds, something like that, and I think they were around round 5 or 6, something like that. I don't. Those numbers don't really matter. It's just that at some point, Regis like tried to go for like a stomach punch, or at least like a liver punch or whatever. And so what ended up happening was he missed the stomach, and he just kind of like, you know, he just kind of missed the stomach. So that's basically all it did. Like he didn't actually get to punch the stomach. It kind of just looked like he kind of like rubbed the stomach. Yeah. What ended up happening was that Ivan Redcatch fell and then started like screaming and started like,
oh my god, really?
Yeah. And then everybody was like, what? And then they were like, okay, maybe he hit him in the nuts, because you're not supposed to do that, and that happens a lot. And so everybody at first was like, oh no, he got hit in the nuts. And then every single time they showed the replay, he landed nowhere near the nuts. Nowhere near.
It was like the side?
Yeah, it was completely like the side of the stomach. It hit nowhere near like lower than the pelvis. And so everybody was like, wait. And then it just seemed like he was trying to take a dive. Like, it just seemed like Ivan was just done. And he was just like, I don't want to fight this anymore.
Yeah.
So he just fell and then just started screaming and holding his balls. And the funny part was that either he was taking a dive, or I think I have a possibility that could have happened. And it's a very, very low likely chance. It's very high likely that Ivan just took a dive. But the low likely chance is that what ended up happening, and this might get a little bit graphic, but his testicle might have gotten caught under the cup that he probably wears. And so when Regis punches him, I think he could have slid the
cup like
pants.
under his like balls.
Yeah, I think he could have slid the pants up rather, and since the pants hold the cup, the cup probably smashed into and then smashed into his pelvis, and then in between the cup and the pelvis was the ball. And so I think that could have happened. Yeah,
the ball got crushed by the cup.
Yeah, exactly, by the cup and the pelvis. Yeah, and I think that could have happened if he actually did get hurt and it was in like the nuts. That's probably what ended up happening, but it did not. It barely looked like that. That was like the only explanation my mind had, right, for like what I saw. So either way, he took a dive. Everybody was mad at Ivan because they were just like, dude, like you did not get hit in the balls. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But they had to put him on a stretcher and they brought him out. And I think they counted it as a TKO. So they ended up saying, yeah, no, that didn't hit him in the nuts.
Interesting.
Yeah, Snoop was like, the. Also, did you react to the announcer that was obviously high out of his mind?
Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was talking about the two like heavyweights, my husband and I, we were like, please turn this guy off. He is ruining this fight. Let the older guy actually announce it, because holy shit, he's super annoying. My husband was like the whole time, he's probably just super high and snorted a line of like cocaine. I was like, honestly, probably, because like the stuff he would like just say, I was just like, please, like, shut up. Somebody mute his mic. I get he's like a big like star, but like mute his mic. We get it. I was like, please shut up. Thank you.
It seems as though it didn't seem like he was on anything like cocaine, because cocaine was the red guy, who was talking to Pete Davidson. That's cocaine. It seemed most likely he was probably cross-faded. So he probably smoked with Snoop, yeah, and he probably was drinking as well, because in the middle of it, they basically insinuated that he was a straight edge, like he's somebody who doesn't actually take drugs normally. And they were like, oh, how does it feel to finally like take drugs?
Yeah.
And I think it's just because Snoop was there. So if Snoop is there, then you're expecting that. Yeah, most likely he shared some devil's lettuce. Puff. Yeah, a puff pass with what's his name, and probably he had some alcohol too, and being crossfaded is
that's a bad thing.
Well, it's not bad.
I've experienced it. It's bad. I hated it.
I mean, okay. To be honest, you're probably going to say that you're probably going to say that you experienced it after an edible, and that's just stupid. So no one talks about crossfaded as if they like took an edible and drink afterwards. You're just fucked then. That's not being crossfaded. That's just getting fucked.
Well, now I know to tell my future children, don't ever eat an edible and drink.
Yeah. But no,
that's
just
besides the point.
Smoking and drinking. That's what I was doing last night. It's pretty chill.
Look at you.
Hell yeah. I'm an adult.
Aren't we both? We just make wrong decisions, so.
I make right decisions. That's what my bank account says.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I'm gonna slap you.
All right, and then let's get to the main. I think we talked about everything else.
I think so. Let's get to the main shebang. The
main shebang.
The hype.
Which I want to start off with bets. Why did you guys think that Ben would win? So we made some bets. We bet some money. I bet about $100. Me and my friend both bet 100. That Jake was gonna win because of course. And someone bet the opposite.
I was just really rooting for the underdog because, like, sometimes they might just pull through. You never know, like, what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the Jake Paul and Ben, their, like, weird press conference before. And all the shit Jake Paul was just saying to him, I was like, you're kind of annoying. Like, I'm just gonna root for Ben, even though he's, like, a 50-year-old dad. Just, you know, just went to the Olympics and won bronze for wrestling, even though this is boxing. So,
yeah.
I honestly just wanted to root for the underdog, but it is what it is. Wins, losses. It's just something fun to do, so.
So, my question is, didn't you end up making more money because you guys accidentally bet more? You guys came out positive, I'm pretty sure. So,
I don't know.
For anyone who's trying to understand the situation, quick explanation. It's just we had a miscommunication in betting, and so they bet a little. So because I was using them as kind of like the main courier of money and doing all the bets and all that fun stuff, and so because of some miscommunication, they ended up betting a little bit too much, and so we had just said, okay, well, we'll bet, like, of course, if I win, I take the winnings that I expected, and they keep the rest. And I'm pretty sure that was more, the money that you made because of that accidental bet is more than the money that you put in for your bet against Askren.
Alex,
so all I'm saying is I made you money.
No,
I made you money.
You put in 200. So that's like your just initial little thing into it. And then if you won, you would have only made the 121 because Jake Paul was a favor. Because you don't count the 200. No, I don't. I really don't, but I'm saying. Like, no.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, so I'll just tell you this and then we'll be done. My husband put 50 that the blue-haired guy would win. Mm-hmm. And then I think something else for 50 for that same fight. So, oh wait, no. I think that was earlier today for the Pelicans. Just kidding. I don't know. Either way, he put in $100 that the blue-haired guy would win, and he obviously lost. So he was like negative. I don't even know. And then he put in for Ben that he'd win. I don't know how much, but either way, he like ended up, I think, negative with the fight. Maybe your 200 did like even it out, but I really don't know.
Well, yeah, because okay. So what ended up? So did he explain to you what ended up happening?
No, honestly.
Oh, basically, he didn't put in 200 originally. He thought that when I said 200, he put it in as what I expected the payout to be. So that meant that what he ended up betting was a 334, I think it was.
Are you serious?
So, yeah, exactly. So basically,
oh my god.
Yeah, and so that the payout was about 550, 540, somewhere around there. Yeah, and I only took.
Okay, now I'm seeing the conversation.
Yeah, and I only took I think 121 away from it. So I'm pretty sure you guys came out positive.
I honestly have no idea, and I'm just sorry.
Either way, I made 200. You guys a lot of money. I made you guys a lot of money. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm about to fucking ask him when he wakes up tomorrow. Like, what? Because, like,
yeah, ask
when
him.
he was talking to you, I was like, just talk to him. I don't know how I can explain this to Alex. Like, this is beyond me. But
yeah, no.
What the hell?
It ended up being that I was not crazy. And that he accidentally, it was miscommunication, but yeah, it was on you guys' part, and that's not a bad thing. But yeah, it's just like, I think I made you guys a lot of money. That's all I'm trying to say. I think I made you guys a lot of money, and all I'm saying is that my name is Midas. We
only put down 200 though for you.
No, you didn't. Remember, so what I'm saying is that he thought that when I said 200, that he meant that was the payout that I was expecting. So he bet the 334. That's why when you texted me that we owed you 334 if we lost, that's how much he put in.
Oh, okay, yeah, now I see it. So to win 200, you risk, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I see it.
Exactly.
Oh my
so
God.
You ended up getting paid out.
I literally told this motherfucker 200. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
I literally said he only wants 200 down.
It is perfectly fine. Again, we worked it out and we were like, okay, we totally understand now. But what I'm saying is that because you guys bet 334, you got paid out about like 200. So that means that you got 534 in total, and because I was only expecting 121, that means you guys got like 400 out of that. So that means that you guys got more than what you put into those other bets that you had.
I'm gonna fucking ask him tomorrow. I feel really bad.
Yeah. When you ask and you find that out, just know that we made you money.
Shut up.
There's no bad to feel. Everybody came out more positive. I got you money. That's just all I'm trying to say.
Oh my god. I just feel so bad about it.
My middle name is Midas because I've got the golden touch. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Everything that I do just makes the money.
I'm so done with you. I was wondering too why you guys are going so hard, like going back and forth. But now
because it was very confusing.
I literally told this man he only wants to put 200 down. So I'm like reading this message back, like, what the fuck was he? I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I've told my husband, I can't.
The funny part is now I understand everything about betting because I was so confused. I ended up like researching out the ass about like betting and trying to understand all that shit.
Now you get it.
Now I get it. Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Enough about that.
Yeah. So, now the fight has started. What's going on in your head? The fight started. You know, everything's starting.
Okay. Personally, I've awoken from my nap and I was a little hazy, but I did watch it. I think it was like the second round. He just got like knocked out. And then I was like, I'm going to bed because I was done. And then this morning when I woke up, I watched it again on YouTube. And I was like, okay, it was actually pretty good. But then I saw like how he knocked him out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I know before I woke up, I asked my husband about it. He was like, oh yeah. And then Ben just like walked off with his wife laughing. And I was like, what? Really? So I had to look that up and I of course saw it. And I was like, wow, like, was the fight even? Which a lot of people are probably like talking about, debating.
Yeah,
I'm going to say yes and
rigged.
No. Yeah, I don't want to say it was like rigged, but I feel like for Jake, it was not rigged. But for Ben, it was rigged because his payout was like $500,000. All he had to do was show up, and he was like, okay, I'm at least just gonna last till like the second, just get like knocked out and be done. But I feel like his other fights, it's like he can take a punch. So it's, I don't know. I feel like it's a yes and no, but like for the most part, it's not really rigged. Like
I'm like 99% sure I understand the entire situation, and it's simple. It's as simple as this. So one, it does not seem like it's rigged or that he threw because you could tell that he tried to stand up as fast as possible. Yeah. He even looked at the referee crazy when the referee called it. Like he was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
I just wanted to stand up.
Yeah, I wanted to stand up. Because he stood on his 2 feet, he was like, "Oh, the ref should not call it." But I would have called it personally. I think the call is perfect because it looked like Jake wanted to fucking punch his head off. And then when he stood up,
that is true.
And he was so dazed, like it looked like he just was not ready to fight. And so it's like this guy wants to fucking blow your head off, and basically me letting this go on.
I'm doing you a service.
Yeah, exactly. I think the fight should have been called, like where it was. Also, fuck, what was I trying to say? Was it rigged? So, also, him getting knocked out actually is not a crazy thing because one, when he was getting punched on the ground in the MMA fight. That you saw, one, there's probably a lot different like circumstances there like he's probably already stressed, so getting hit in the face then is probably a lot easier because your body's already like used to getting like, you know, hammer armed or whatever. You got to remember that he's retired, right?
And he's a wrestler,
and he's he's MMA, so he gets punched in the face. That's fair. I think it's very fair that people are like questioning that. But you also understand that he's retired. It's probably been pretty long since he's got hammered in the face over and over again.
He's recovering from hip surgery. Yeah, and even middle school.
And even then, some people just have a strong jaw a long time ago and no longer have a strong jaw. That is a thing. You could totally do that.
Your body.
Also, this guy does not know how to box for shit.
Honestly,
he immediately when I saw his form, like that's when I was like, oh no, this guy's gonna lose. Like I saw the videos of his forms and stuff like that before the video before the fight started, and then I was like, I remembered like, you know, Jake's form and all that, and it's just like, no, Jake's gonna destroy this man.
Oh yeah, from all the promo videos, yeah.
Yeah, from all the promo videos from his last fights, Jake is actually, it seems, not a horrible fighter. It actually seems like he's pretty okay. Now, granted, we don't know that for sure because he's never fought anybody who actually knows how to fight.
Yes, I like
he's
the
only
caliber.
fought people. Mm-hmm. But he has proven himself to be better
points.
than the layman for sure.
That is true from the common folk. I mean, I think once you really, like you said before, once you release him fight somebody in the same weight, ability, skills, then that will really show if he's actually a true boxer or not. Like we just said, he's fighting common folk-ish, and until he fights like somebody at his like level, like, and it's a real match, not kind of more for like publicity reasons, like, then we'll see like if this former Vine YouTuber guy is actually real or not.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like he's.
I think he's real,
pretty good.
But he's on like the road to it, you know.
He's on the road to getting greater for sure.
Yes.
And I don't know why people keep feeding his goddamn ego.
Oh my god, same.
With these fights. Because like again,
know
initially I was not a big fan of Jake, and in fact I'm not necessarily like a huge fan of him just as a human being. But as a boxer, I love his story. But yeah, originally I wasn't a big huge fan, so I'm like, why did you keep like making him fight these guys who he's just going to destroy? Because you're just gonna make him stronger, like ego wise. Like you're not gonna be able to talk to him at all. And I 100% think that if and when Jake has to go up against KSI, I'm going to call it that KSI is going to get his ass whooped. I don't want it.
You think so?
I don't want it, but it's unless if KSI has to improve. For sure, if Jake fights the KSI that fought Logan in the latest fight, Jake wins 100%. Logan is trash compared to Jake now, for sure.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that he like knocked out because he's a YouTuber. I just feel like this is like a new age of like influencers branching out, but like low-key no one takes them seriously because like all of these small fights that they do, and they're very like internet beefy like and clickbaity, but we will only see as time tells. Like I just want him to fight somebody like the same skill and level as him. So
I'm okay with watching him fight KSI. I think that would be a totally legit fight, but I do think that it's heavily skewed towards Jake's favor.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's
just
like
his platform, personality, his weird following.
Yeah, I think that that's like the best, like that's like the realest fight he can have to show where he is.
I guess so. I'm waiting.
Absolutely.
For someone out of the internet sphere, like someone that's like literally his dad. So.
Well, also Logan is fighting what's his name? Mayweather.
Really?
Yep.
What the hey?
Yeah.
Shut up. Are you serious?
I forgot when did the fight take place? Date. UFC date full detail. Yeah, Logan Paul is fighting Floyd Mayweather. But I don't know when.
I just looked it up too, and it just says after Jake Paul's KO victory over Ben Askren. So it's definitely going to happen. When? We don't know. Maybe when Triller has enough money to put on another production.
Oh yeah, also one thing that I wanted to point out was just and the reason why Ben Askren was probably like chipper when he was leaving is simply because like it just seems like Ben is a very just chill, down to earth guy. Like he's probably very similar to myself, where I'm the type of person that like if I lose, he's like, all right, I lost, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going home. I'm gonna go.
It's like, Saturday night.
I'm not gonna get like upset or like, you know, livid over something like that. Like,
yeah,
it's insane that he even didn't like feed into the like the promotion
Because
like,
he's so much older.
Yeah, he's so much older.
So much older. He has nothing to lose. He's literally just older, trying to get a paycheck too. And he's like, "This is a small child." Like.
Yeah, exactly. And so like he was just like inside of the podcast that he did with Logan. Logan asked him. He was like, "Oh, do you think you're gonna win against my brother?" And he was like, "Maybe." And he was real. He was like, he said I'd probably win, but if he was really good, he'd beat me. That's like, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said, and he was right. It's like, I don't think that if Jake was any weaker, if Jake was any weaker, I don't think Jake would have won, or any like shittier, Jake would have won. No, but Jake is not bad, and he proved it here because he shadowed this guy. Honestly, first round knockout again. So he's got something to his name, and Ben Askren was just chill about it. He was just like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And so of course that's how he's gonna act when he loses. He's just like, all right, well, on to the next day. And honestly, that's how everyone should act when things like this happen, instead of being pissy boys. Except that you lost, and just go on with the next day. You don't need all that shit talking.
Move on.
Yeah, exactly. Move on. What's it gonna? What do you think it's gonna help to like to be like mad at this at your loss or anything like
to like
that?
simmer about it.
Yeah, exactly. Who's that gonna help? Is it gonna make you? Is it gonna like change time, change the past, and have it you win again? No, not at all. It's just gonna make you angry, and honestly, being angry sucks and it's annoying. So I'd rather not do that.
That is true. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the fight, and I enjoyed it too for what I watched of it. It really made me miss concerts, weirdly. Just even though some of the performances were a little lackluster, but I was like, damn, I just want to go to a concert and see somebody right now.
Don't you just want to hang out with Justin Bieber?
Honestly, I watched his performance this morning and I was like, that was like the chillest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
loved it though.
Since the beginning, I have never in my entire life ever been a Justin Bieber hater.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I have never been like a Justin Bieber like fan, like where I've never been like, oh, I fucking love his songs.
Like I need to see him.
Yeah, I've never been like that.
This has turned me though. Like my stone has been turned. I like really like him now. He's so vibey and chill. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And like he's been this way for a while now, and like it's I remember growing up with him, like being in the news and always like having a sense of understanding of like why these things, like why this happened with him and blah 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 blah. And he grew up into a very just chill dude that I would absolutely love to hang out with. A
really chill artist. Like his music was really good. Even just his performance, like just him like dancing on the stage by himself, singing, like vibing. I was like, ooh, I want to see you in like real life now. Let's go.
Yeah, he just seems like a really chill dude. And he was and I know the beginning of the very first song that he was playing, I'm almost completely positive that he was singing that. Actually, he did not double
was
word
like
or anything
live
like that.
Singing the whole thing, right?
I think towards the later end of the songs he was hold it. He was singing like he was either singing under his own song or he was just lip syncing. But that's understandable because it's later in the set. But I think that at the very beginning he was actually singing, which is really dope.
It was good. Are we Justin Bieber fans now? Like new Justin Bieber?
Actually, I'm not a big fan of his music. It was just pop. It was very just pop. And so I was just kind of like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah or nay, Alex? Yes or no?
Yes or no what?
If you're a Justin Bieber stan now, after seeing this performance.
Define stan.
Like you would see him in concert if it was like a lineup in person.
If it was just
Justin Bieber.
If it was
if it was him and other artists, like.
Okay, give me a second.
Would you go to a set?
If it was just Justin Bieber as being the only like person in the event that I was interested in, then probably not. Just simply because I don't really like. I don't care about it enough to pay for something that I'm not gonna be able to like do anything with it, right? Like since I don't enjoy his music that much, like it's like, all right, I'm not gonna waste money on that because I want to see him. Like I'm not like in love with him. But let's say that there was like a hangout, right? And you could like
a hangout fest.
Yeah, you could pay to kind of like listen to his music and like
festival.
hang out with him and talking shit, then yeah, I'd do that. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd love to hang out with him. I think it'd be pretty dope.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I mean,
okay.
of course, maybe one day in the future, maybe work with him in like with music, but who knows?
Okay. Just imagine you're at a music festival. You're with a girl that you like, and Justin Bieber's like a main set, and she's like,
I'm gonna run up to the front of the line and start screaming,
yeah.
"Ah, Justin Bieber!"
That's all I needed to know. Thank you. Okay. Topic closed now on the Justin Bieber performance.
I'll throw my shirt at him.
Throw him your little USB of your
my Dogecoin. Just throw Doge at him.
Your email at the bottom with a smiley face and heart. That's funny.
But I'm basically like I don't know. I don't really know what to call these types of people, but they're my favorite. But it's just kind of like the type of people that like, if they see you, they're like, huh, like they're like, yeah, like I enjoy their music when I see it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna specifically like search out for this person's music, but when I hear it, I'm just like, I'm not gonna turn
You'll
it off.
vibe to it,
and I respect the person, you know. I'm not gonna like defend them to the end of the earth, but I'll treat them like a normal human being and defend what needs to be defended and not defend what does not need to be defended.
You won't skip them.
I think that's what people get wrong when it comes to their like idols and stuff like that, which is like they're just like, oh, you know, they can't do anything wrong, or like, you know, it must take a lot. Like sometimes, bro, just idolize whoever you want to idolize, but it should only be like that, just that, like looking at them and saying, hey, whatever that thing that they do that I like that's kind of what I want to get to. But treating them like gods and like making it so that like they cannot falter or anything like that.
That's
really
they
stupid.
can do no wrong.
Yeah, if they fuck up, they fuck up, and I'll call you out on fuck ups. That's if you're my friend. That's if you're my enemy. I don't give a fuck. I will always tell you how I feel about you.
There you go.
That way you know for a fact that if I don't tell you that I hate you, I don't hate you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Should we get into the movie?
Yeah, let's go. This week's movie.
Right. Hell yeah, it was The White Tiger on Netflix, nominated for a 2021 Oscar, which also
nice.
Crip Camp was also nominated for too. As you can see, I like to pick these very good movies, apparently. Maybe this one. I don't know how I feel about it, but let's get into the first question. I know you just watched it, so it's like fresh in your mind, but what did you think about the... Actually, wait, hold on. Let me just like read the synopsis. Actually, no, fuck it. Whatever, you can look it up. But yeah, okay, so the first question is the importance of Pinky as a character in this movie.
Oh.
What was her importance of it?
She was kind of like the American visual. She was showing what America was, basically, like that kind of like what we expect in our own freedoms down here in America, and basically showing you like kind of the culture differences of where the husband is coming from too. So you know that the husband was not full like American. He was part like Indian. Like he lived in India some of his life, and he's lived in America some of his life. So you see with the main characters and all that, you see where you see that part of him, that side of him, which is like the entire Indian culture that they were living in. And then you see the American culture, which is his wife, which is what he also takes from. So you get to see all of them in him. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. She brought out definitely the differences but similarities, but also too, I think she really, at the beginning, she was like that sound of mind that like her husband Ashok needed when it came to like realizing the class system that was happening in India, and like really just like calling the family out on it, and really giving the main character, which is Baram, like not essentially the upper hand, but just realizing like he is also human, so like giving him the worth. But then after, when, obviously spoiler, like when she does leave, it's like her ex-husband is going back to the more traditional ways of India now that she's not here to like just open his eyes to, like you said, not only the American culture where she comes from but also the Indian culture. But then again, putting like Bahram and back in his place in a sorts, even though like the husband is going through this grieving time and really falls on him like his driver as like that support system. But yeah, I think she played a big difference. Like once she leaves in the movie, the whole movie to me, it really just like shifted everything, which was kind of crazy to see, but I really liked it. So she played a big role, which I thought was pretty good. And Priyanka, like, hello, she's like the best actress ever, and she's like super gorgeous and like really good. So it's like, yeah, she was good for that role. So I thought it was really good. She was a good character and very, very important in the White Tiger.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I guess we can agree on that. Like she was very important in the movie.
Yeah, she was basically the main character's lighthouse of like the grounding.
I like that. Yeah.
To show like, hey, like this
shed the light on everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like you deserve more than this. Like you're not just, this person that you think that you are, right?
I like that. And like when she's gone, the lighthouse, even though it maybe be shut off, like when he had that scene in the car driving her and she's like, you've had the key this whole time, you just need to unlock it or something like that. It's like even though the lighthouse is shut off, like he realized all the shit that was going on and like how to navigate the waters to benefit him.
Yeah, it was you've been searching for the key, but all you had to do was like open the door or something like that. But it was unlocked the entire time.
Yeah, that was it. It was good.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if he did end up opening the door. I mean, he did, but he murdered somebody for it though. Spoiler alert.
I know, right? I guess this
actually technically that hilariously enough, that's not actually a spoiler. That's like revealed like actually not towards the end of the movie. Remember, like you see the wanted poster and the for murder. You just wonder who he.
No, it's like in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you just wonder who. So I guess like this is the almost maybe next question, but it's more like the car scene. Like thoughts when watching the first scene, which you obviously see him, Bahram, the main character, voicing over, but you see the car scene with Pinky and her now ex-husband and him in the back. What did you think when you first saw this as the opening scene?
I thought the movie was gonna be about like the main character like sneaking into like a country or whatever, and those two were like his friends or whatever.
Dude,
and like
wondering how I got here.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was wearing like that like that like robe, the very like expressive robe. And so I was like, oh, it seemed like he was, but his like face was of someone who was like confused or like or like scared or something like that.
Kind of nervous.
Yeah, kind of like they had like just snuck into something or whatever, and you could tell that the tension was kind of like
very
kind
tight.
of rough. Yeah, very tight. Yeah, exactly, because of like their
nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why I thought it was like one of those like movies about like sneaking into like a country or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I felt very worried at first. I was like, oh no, are they all just gonna die and this is the end of the movie? So I didn't feel that way, but yeah, I felt like the tension. I was like already like on the edge of my seat, like, oh my god, like what is literally gonna happen if this is the first scene? But I thought it was a good like first scene to put in this movie. It's very like eye-opening and just catching, and it almost like just draws you in to like want to know what else is happening beyond this car scene. So I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is the most important one. Did anyone find Ashok's body? Do you think anyone found it?
I thought they'd have to, right, to report somebody for murder.
You would think so, but like, yeah, I guess that does answer. I guess also too, like, how did you feel about him, like, when you first saw that scene like of him like breaking the bottle, putting in the car, telling his nephew like, hey, here's some money, I might not come back.
Yeah.
And then how do you feel about like that whole scene, like when he pulls over and it's like, hey, we need to both check this tire.
Yeah.
And like him stabbing him with a broken bottle.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was in my head, it was just kind of like, yeah, this makes sense. Even in real life, this is something that would happen. Yeah, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
That's true though.
Don't treat people like shit, because at some point they're going to feel like cornered dogs.
They will snap back.
Yep, and they will snap back.
They'll get that revenge on you.
When it happened, it's one of those things where in the law you can't do that, but morally it would be an actual thing that you could argue that, okay, like, you shouldn't have treated him like that, and obviously he needed some way to get out of it, because it looked like you were going to just throw him out to the street because you were getting a replacement for him and all that.
He found a replacement.
Yep, and you also tried to frame him for murder and all that.
You made him sign something.
Yeah, so it makes sense. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, like you kind of reap what you sow there.
That's true though. Yeah. Comes around, goes around. Yeah, yeah, obviously somebody did, but I think it was interesting how he just like straight up killed him with like a broken glass bottle. I was watching it like, oh my god, that would like be the worst way to die. Just being like repeatedly stabbed with a chunky glass bottle that you just broke yourself, and being left to die on the side of a rainy Indian road where who knows would find you whenever they do find you. But
oh no, he died. He died before. He died while the guy was looking at him.
That's true though. He said he drowned in his goodbye
because he slit his throat.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was the last thing he did. He said good night and then said, I got the red bag.
Yep.
With the 4 mil. Jesus, that's insane to think about.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Actually, yeah, I enjoyed it, yeah.
What was your... This is a little off the questions, but like, what was your favorite scene of this whole movie? Because there's so many.
Huh, that is a good question. I didn't really think about that. Hold on.
Do you need a minute to think?
Yeah, what's your favorite scene?
Okay, I think my favorite scene is when you had Pinky yelling at her like father and brother-in-law, being like, no, this is what's going to happen. I don't care if you don't like it. This is what we're gonna do, blah, 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 blah. And like just getting in their faces. And I also like too the scene where it's like Bahram comes back and he's like kissing the feet of like the father, like his like employer basically. And like Pinky sees this and is like, no, stop doing that to him. Like, why are you treating him like such shit when he just like confessed to this murder that he didn't even do? Like, this is not how we should treat other people. Like, stop kissing his feet. I just liked all the scenes too that like she was in with him, because it really showed how she was trying to help him open his eyes basically the best way she could without getting too involved or like getting too suspicious about it, and like really treating him like a human instead of like a servant. So those are my favorite scenes, mostly revolved around Pinky, so those are my faves.
My favorite scene would probably be towards the ending, where he basically he starts talking about how like his workers aren't his like slaves or anything like that. They're his employees.
All family.
Yeah. They're not family. They're not servants. They're employees.
Yeah.
And so when they sign the contract, he signs too.
He signs one. Yes.
And I thought that was really dope. And then, but I also found like at the very end where he was walking with them, and he was like, in the story, the guy who killed his master would be crying about it and thinking about it, but no, when you kill your master, you have to be blah, blah, blah. And I was just kind of like, what if one of them thought that that's their relationship and was like, oh, I guess he's trying to tell us to kill him.
Yeah. And you're like, no.
Yeah. It seemed very ironic, but not really, because again, he emphasized that he didn't treat them like servants. So hopefully they understood that he didn't treat them like servants. He treated them like employers, business. I also liked I kind of liked his younger sibling scene, kind of one, he lashes out at his sibling, and he says, "Turn around, I'm gonna hit you again," and then he decides not to. I think that was
his nephew.
Yeah, his nephew.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, do siblings?
He's trying to.
Doesn't siblings just mean that you're related?
I guess. I mean, like, he was like his nephew, but yeah.
Yeah, but related. So would they not be siblings?
I guess you could say they're siblings.
Or are siblings just only brothers and sisters? I don't remember.
I mean, to me, siblings are like more brother and sister, but like, he was like uncle and nephew.
I think siblings is everything. But whatever it was, his younger nephew or whatever, he kind of was just this innocent. He was like the innocent kid, and he was just kind of like, I don't really know what's going on, and so like,
don't take your anger out on me.
Yeah. And he went with them,
that
and
too.
In a way, the kid was kind of lucky that ended up happening, because one, he didn't get murdered, and two, he was gonna grow up with now someone who doesn't feel like they're in the chicken coop. He's growing up with someone who understands a little bit more about, having pride in themselves and stuff like that.
Taking care of themselves. Yeah, I like that scene too. I also think it also showed like he's obviously getting out of the chicken coop, but also to breaking that like generational cycle of like just abuse, and how that's not the right way to handle situations, especially for younger kids that, like you said, are very young and naive and innocent. And I was like so happy that it came back for him, and how, I guess spoiler, but just how like you see that one scene where they're eating ice cream and he's like, no, even though Sundays for ice cream like isn't Sunday every day or something, like I want it now. So very just like giving him the opportunity that he didn't have growing up, and really even though giving him ice cream, but realizing like I'm creating the future of India if I want brown and yellow to dominate over white. So yeah, I think yeah, those are good scenes to remember. So what did you think about the ending after we see all this craziness and madness around the main character? How did you feel about his story overall, to where he had to get to today in the present with his car business? How do we feel about it?
I think everything made sense. He basically, he finally got freed from his shackles, although having to again kill somebody for it.
Yes.
But he finally got freed of his shackles, and he went to go. He reported those people to the police. I forgot the reason why, but he reported the company to the police, and then decided to open up his own company, which was a taxi company that had air conditioned cars.
Yes,
which he was
and
very
employees.
And employees, exactly. That was very wholesome. It was very cool. It was understandable.
Yeah, I liked it too. To me, it just showed the hardships that somebody has to go through to get out of that chicken coop, even if they are maybe killing somebody. But in the end, like, if you want to dominate over the rich and become rich yourself, or at least have a better life, like, sometimes you do have to step on someone's toes, maybe not kill somebody now, but you have to honestly just gotta do what you gotta do. And I respect him for just paying maybe half, like $2 million to the cops, and being like, hey, I will bust all these like undocumented drivers that don't have the right documents to drive, and from that I will create my own business that actually employs like men that can drive, and like give them real employment opportunities. And this was in 2010, so, but yeah, I thought it was a good story for a coming of age success story, the hardships of different cultures, and especially in India when there was a caste system that automatically deems you as better or worse. So I thought it was really good. So I guess, like, to sum this up, like, Alex, do not disappoint me, but what was your rating for this movie?
I think we should go with your rating first.
Okay, I would say honestly a 5 out of 5 because even just talking to you about this movie, I'm like, I really liked it. I thought all the characters, even if some were a little like cliche, but I really thought it was a very dynamic movie. And considering that this is based in India, where the caste system is very different from America or England, and it really kind of shed the light on the differences that India does go through. And of course, this coming of age, like he's trying to get out of the chicken coop, and this is a story on how he did it. It may not be the best story, but like here he is today to say like he was able to do it. And maybe don't murder someone, but like if you really want something, like you can really do anything you want to. And I just thought it was really good. Like it was just a good movie. Like I will probably watch it again like in a few months because it's so good. And like there's never really a dull moment, and you really see the differences in class between every single character and like the struggles they go through. So I'd say 5 out of 5.
All right. And what do you think that I gave it?
I'm going to say I gave it like a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5? Well,
yeah.
I'll have you know that I ended up scoring it at the end of the movie because I knew exactly what I wanted to score it right after I finished watching it.
Okay.
And that is a 5 out of 5. I love it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I very much
my
so.
God.
It entertained me throughout. Nothing
Good.
Everything made perfect sense. I don't think there was anything in the movie that I felt was like out of place, was strange. Yeah. Even the just everything everything fit right. It was a really good movie. It was a movie that I would watch again.
Wow.
It was a movie that I would watch with other people. It's a movie that I'd even if I ever take a drop acid at some point ever again, I'd want to with my friends. God. I would watch with them because there were some scenes that would obviously make you freak out. And I thought I would find it hilarious to put it in front of them. But no, it was a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So absolutely a 5 out of 5. I'm
like so happy. This is like the first 5 out of 5 you've given. Yeah, this movie is like really fucking good. Like I can see why it's nominated for an Oscar. Even if it wasn't, it's just a good movie. Like
yep, it's just a good movie. Yeah,
it hits all the notches that you need for a movie, and I think everyone should watch it to just further your personal growth journey, if that makes sense.
I don't think it does. I don't think it necessarily does. I guess the only thing that I can complain about is that I don't think it does necessarily a good job at really giving that lesson, because he ended up having to murder somebody.
No, I mean like maybe like a broader lesson of like if you really want something, you have to work for it. Minus don't maybe murder someone. You know.
I feel like I feel like the message that was trying to be sent was what am I trying to say?
Murder gets you farther.
I guess the message that was trying to be sent was very explicit and very not implicit, meaning he specifically said it and it was never really shown, which is just I need to get out of here. It was like I shouldn't see myself as a certain all the time. Like this system needs to change. That's basically the lesson, but it was not really shown much. It was just said. Like it was just kind of like, oh yeah, this fucking thing sucks, and I need to get out of here because the way that he did it. What do you mean
it wasn't shown? Like it was shown.
Okay, I don't know if I'm explaining. So basically, usually in a movie, when there's like a lesson, right? You usually have the main character going through that entire entire thing, and basically in a way you're supposed to be able to put yourself in that main character's shoes. But the problem is that murder is very, very like risque on the normal human, right? The normal human doesn't really want to murder anybody. So when it comes to like shows like that, it's very hard to kind of like
actually see yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, basically. Usually you have to
cut someone's
go through
throat
other
to
means.
Get ahead.
Yeah, usually you have to go through other means to to show that lesson. And I don't think they really went through those other means to do it. I think they just kind of explicitly said it, which is not a bad thing. It's just,
true.
Yeah,
maybe
it wasn't
this
that
isn't
deep,
a path people should take.
Yeah, I guess the best way, it wasn't that deep. It just wasn't really deep. Nothing they did was really deep.
I mean, I thought it was pretty. I mean, this maybe isn't like you keep saying, like, murder is not the way to get ahead, but like this was the means that he had to go through in 2007 to get ahead. If this was the only way he saw out, like this was the way he saw it for his personal story. Maybe don't murder someone for your own personal story to get ahead, but sometimes you gotta, maybe in the more traditional setting, maybe, you know, if you do have an interview with somebody, or like go to your manager and be like, hey, I see blah blah blah, don't murder her or him, if that makes sense.
I don't know the right way to explain what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say either.
Yeah, but I guess all in all, I think that the movie just did a really good job, and I don't really have that much to complain about. And even that thing that I do complain about, I don't even think that the movie needs to fix it. I don't think it's broken. There's a difference between something that could be better versus something it's just good, and that's what it is. It's good. It could be better, but that doesn't mean that it's not perfect. You know?
Good.
Because I see that. There's no such thing. So in a way, there's no such thing as being perfect. So you can always build on top of something that's really good. So a 5 out of 5 isn't something that's perfect, because it's impossible to be perfect. It's something that's just really fucking good. And if it can be better, that's its own, like, yeah, it could be better, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it should be taken away because it could be better. It's good because it's good.
It's good because it's good. Yeah, it is good. It's a good movie.
Exactly.
So happy I could pick such a good movie.
Good job taking the
really
movie.
Liked.
Hopefully this movie that I chose this week is going to be great as well. I randomly saw it in my list.
Okay.
Because I added it a long ass time ago for some reason on Netflix.
Nice.
And I was just like, you know what? Let's watch it. So, do you remember the movie?
Yes, you said, give me 1 second because I had to fix
Tullaluh.
Yeah, Tullaluh.
Tullaluh. Tullaluh. I have no clue what it's about.
Awesome. I actually looked it up because I was like, what is this movie? But yeah, I guess it's on Netflix. It has Elliot Page now on it. Came out kind of a longish while ago or something, but I guess like she has a baby from a ex-boyfriend that she convinces her current boyfriend's mother that is his, I don't know, something like that.
A young woman takes a baby from an irresponsible mother and pretends the child is her own. Without a place of her own, she asks for help of her ex-boyfriend's mother, telling her the baby is her granddaughter. Oh, okay.
I was kind of there-ish.
I just want to feel something. I haven't felt something in forever. I just want to watch a movie and feel something. It kind of looked like I'd feel something, so that's why I chose it. And honestly, it might not even make me feel anything.
I feel like for your own Netflix, you should just program something to be like, feel something movies, anything.
Yeah,
and
honestly.
Hopefully the algorithm can like get you something that like, people have also felt something from this movie.
Yeah, I need some emotion to be put into my body sometimes. And honestly, I want some somber. Yeah, I want something somber and very gloomy. That's my favorite type of just genre in general. I like somber-y songs. I like somber-y like movies.
Something
I just like
somber.
gloomy shit. Yeah.
Okay. Little goth boy, emo.
Funny enough,
Emotional
basically,
man.
except I don't wear black.
True. Wow, I'm definitely my next movie. I'm gonna try and get you a good. I don't know how high your emotions are, but like I keep saying, like the freaking westerns. I watched one with my husband once. I literally was like actually crying, and I felt really embarrassed for crying because it's a movie. But it's like there's like a really good emotional hitters too. But all right. So Tullaluh, Netflix. Hopefully it's a feeler. Makes Alex shed a tear or two. So
at least make me feel like I'm going to.
Something. Give him the feels, please.
I probably should have picked an anime film, but I just like I looked at this.
Do you
want
to take it back?
No,
pick an anime?
We have all the time in the world.
That's
to pick
true,
another
though.
Movie. Yeah.
That's true. Okay. I like that. Looks like a good movie. I mean, it's kind of older, so usually those are good. Emotional. I mean, 2016, but still, like, I feel like those movies are always good. So we'll see. I don't know what my topic of the week should be. I kind of just want to stick to yours, which is school, because I have lots of opinions and thoughts on it. So
All
I'll
right,
stick with schooling. Yeah, I will steal it. So we'll have the. So for this episode, we talked about our weeks in 5 sentences. We talked about the infamous Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Askren?
Yeah, like Askren,
fight?
but with an R in the middle. Askren.
Yep. Fight and our thoughts on the performances. We also talked about the White Tiger movie and Alex for the 10th episode, which is crazy already because we started this in January, I think it said, which is awesome and crazy how time flies so by.
That is pretty awesome.
And it's already April, but like, yeah, this is Alex's first 5 out of 5, and it is the White fucking Tiger nominated for an Oscar. So essentially, the Oscar goes to Alex for nominating this as a 5 out of 5. If you think about it. Yeah. So our new movie will be Tullaluh on Netflix, and the topic of the new episode for episode 11 will be school. So
all right,
that's fun. Yeah. Thanks for joining our conversation.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.
And we will see you in the next chat.